Hello everyone, welcome back to Ramon at Home. I'm so excited you're here today. Well, because today I'm bringing you 5 spring DIYs for your home. These DIYs for spring 2025 are super easy to make, and it's a beautiful compilation of gorgeous DIYs starting at the front door. You guys know that I'm always telling you, you only get one chance to make a statement, and that is at the front door. So that's why we're going to start this video with a beautiful floral basket that is sure to make a statement. So if you are interested in beautiful spring DIYs, how-to tutorials, please stay tuned. Don't forget to like this video and share with your friends on Facebook, on Instagram, and on WhatsApp. Why? Well, because it is free and it really helps this channel. You guys, I want to take a second to officially say Happy New Year. 2025 is going to be the best year yet. Actually, my question of the day is, do you have a word for 2025? Mine is breakthrough. So be sure to leave down in the comment section below what is your word for 2025. All right, you guys, so we're gonna get started with these gorgeous, beautiful spring DIYs for 2025, starting with a gorgeous basket for your front door. Let's take a look. I wanted to do something different, and for that I chose this basket that I have to continue with that spring theme. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I already put foam in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna go ahead and cover the front of it with some of this greenery. And so I'm gonna just start adding this green all throughout my basket like this. And I just wanna make sure that I cover the top and then also add some to the very top in the crown right here. So all you have to do is add some types of greenery, and don't forget that, remember, what happens on the right happens on the left, and what goes up must come down. So I'm gonna use all of this greenery that I have. Once again, this is from Walmart. My favorite greenery they have is this eucalyptus, and as you can see, it's covering some of this. These are 2 of them. They get all tangled up. It's covering some of my basket and is getting me some height as well, because I'm going to add some flowers to this. So I'm gonna add all of them, all the ones that I have. I could add more, but I'm gonna stop right there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab some of this hydrangea, and I'm gonna put one right here on the left front, one to the right, one to the left, like this, and one in the very front right here. And as you can see, that helps us cover. I'm gonna move this guy over to the left a little bit more towards this side to kind of cover all the way around the perimeter. So now that I have that, I have this blue flower. This is a hyacinth, and so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna start right here on the corner, and this is going to go just in between my flowers, and I'm gonna show you a trick. So for this particular one, I have this extra foliage. This is the flower, how it comes. I have a foliage right here that is a hydrangea foliage. I always save all those foliages, and I just add the flower to the foliage, and you will see that it all helped me to cover more of the perimeter. And remember, the more foliage you have, the more natural it will look. I'm gonna add one right here to the top, and I'm going to, let me spin this to me. I'm gonna add one over here to my right, and the rest of these flowers I'm just gonna add right here and angling them as well, and I'm gonna add one right here to the front. All right, so now I'm gonna get my statement flower, and I'll be right back with you. All right, you guys, so now this is what's gonna make it really, really fun. What I'm going to do is I'm gonna start adding some of this beautiful flower that is going to be really tall, and I want it to be as tall as possible. So I'm just gonna go ahead and poke the tallest ones first, fanning it out like this, making kind of like a fan. And I really want it to spill forward as well. Remember, you have to have some filler, some thriller, and some spiller. So I'm gonna go ahead and go right here, adding that to my left. I want it to be really full. I wanted to, basically what I wanted was like all just this flower, but in order to make it look more beautiful, you kind of have to add some other accent flowers. But I'm going to cut so many of them. As you can see, it is starting to spill forward. I'm gonna add one right here to the top. You have to go in and out, back and forth, and make it fuller. So now I'm gonna grab my wire cutters to continue adding some of this flower right here. All right, so I've added most of my delphinium and some of my hydrangeas. So now I'm gonna show you a real quick tip. When you get closer to the rim of your container, what you need to do is you need to go down. I'm gonna share with you right here. You need to go down and go as far down as you can on the flower, so it kind of starts going towards the rim of your flower. So let me do it one more time over here. I'm gonna push it down. Instead of going in the foam, I'm gonna go down onto the container, so that way it looks like it's cascading down, and that's what's going to make it look even more natural. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my bow and I'll be right back. All right, you guys, so I made another one of the burlap bows. I think it is very cohesive. So what I'm going to do, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it right here on the corner and add this bow and just let it hang out like this. I'm gonna go put this in the door and show you a close-up, so keep watching. All right, everyone, so here is your close-up at this absolutely gorgeous spring basket in my front door. It is such a statement. I'm gonna scoot back a little bit so you guys can see what a beautiful statement this is. The secret here is to just use the same color flower, very monochromatic, and then also to add just a touch of burlap on this beautiful basket. I really hope that this was helpful. I cannot wait to read your comments, so be sure to leave a comment down below and let me know if this is something that you would try instead of a wreath on your front door. Now, how easy was that basket to put together? Just a few delphinium, a few hydrangea, some gorgeous greenery, and voila, you have yourself a gorgeous basket for your front door. But now I'm going to share with you how to create a beautiful centerpiece with carrots and flowers, and it is just absolutely gorgeous. Let's take a look. All right, you guys, so we're going to create a beautiful carrot arrangement using these beautiful gingham carrots. But before we get started, I want to tell you that I already went ahead and put a foam on this container, and what I like to do is add moss all throughout the perimeter of my container like this. And I want it to be a little wild. What mostly I'm trying to cover is the corners, so that way it doesn't look very harsh. And what I like to do is create these bobby pins, and I put them on each corner to secure my moss. You can find this moss at Walmart. You know, if you've been following the channel, that this Walmart moss is my favorite because it is super easy to work with. And the way you make those pins is you get a wire like this. This is a 20 gauge wire. You cut it in half like this, and then you cut that half in other half, so you can get 4 of those pins. And then what you do is you just bend it in half and you create kind of like a bobby pin or an S pin. You also can find those at Hobby Lobby. I know they already sell them already made, so if you want to do that, you can. All right, so what I'm going to do after I have my container all prepped, I'm gonna grab my carrots and I'm gonna lay them the way I want them. So I'm gonna put one like this, and then I'm going to put another one like this, kind of spilling forward. So what I'm going to do now is grab my wire and I'm going to bend down probably like a third of it like this to create one of those big pins like this, and I'm going to poke my carrot. It's made out of fabric, so it shouldn't really be that hard to poke through them all. And then what you want to do is secure them to the foam, making sure that it goes through all the fabric. Sometimes you have to poke a few times. There you go. You can hear it pop like this. So that's gonna secure your carrots into your arrangement like that. How absolutely adorable is that? All right, so now that we have that, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna cut some of my flowers, and for that I'm going to use this beautiful orange salmon bundle that I got at Hobby Lobby. I believe this is from Hobby Lobby. So I'm gonna cut some of those flowers real quick. I'm gonna use 3 of these larger orange ones. I think they're super adorable. They are, I like these bundles because they already have like all of the accent flowers that you need. So all you have to do is basically poke. You know, my technique is called poke and hope. You poke, 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 and then hope that it turns out just fine. And what I like about this particular bundle is because it has a lot of the greenery. As you guys can see, this rose has 2 layers of greenery. Isn't this just absolutely stunning? So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab this flower, I'm gonna go right here, right in the middle, and I'm gonna use that as my focal point. And remember, what happens on the right happens on the left. So immediately I'm going to go over to the other side, and I'm going to poke yet another one over here, like that. And then I'm going to try and not cover this corner right here, so that way you can really see those pumpkins. Listen to me, these carrots. Can you believe I'm thinking about pumpkins already? Well, that's because I was prepping some fall videos, and let's just not talk about that right now. It's way too soon. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab one of these really pretty flowers. This is a ranunculus, and I'm going to add it right here, but I'm going to let it kind of stick out a little further out, because I'm going to put some greenery that is really going to help me fill in this container like that. So I'm gonna do two. Remember, what happens on the right happens on the left. So I'm gonna grab this other ranunculus that I have, and look how cool this one has a greenery that you push up, and then it really makes your flower look absolutely full. So I'm gonna spin this around, and I'm gonna grab this right here like that. Remember, I'm trying to just have the carrots be the focal point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab maybe this other one over here, and I'm going to go over to this side. I'm going to poke right here like this. And then it comes with this really super cute accent flower. It's almost like a delphinium, but it's orange or salmon color. And I just think it's adorable. So I'm gonna add some of this to the top right here, poking all the way down. You guys, these bundles are so good because it has all of the accent flowers that you really need to create a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous arrangement with only just one bundle. And they're super affordable, so you can really create something pretty for spring for not a whole bunch of money. And I'm always telling you that I like to save my money for spring and then really go crazy during the holiday season. And that's most decorators. We really do love the holiday season. All right, so then I have this thistle and some really pretty accent flower as well. I just absolutely love it. So I'm also going to add these guys right here to the arrangement. Looking for a place like this. Okay, so far so good. I love the way this is looking, but now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some of this David Christopher's greenery just to fill in the spots and then to give us some texture as well. So I'm just gonna go ahead and poke. You know, usually we add the greenery first, but in this case, I wanted to add it last to kind of just fill in with the greenery and to give me a lot of texture with it as well. So this is, like I said, from David Christopher's, and you guys, they really do have some of the best quality product on the market. And I just absolutely love, love, love their greenery and their flowers. And of course their holiday collection. And I cannot wait to see what we're going to be doing this year with David Christopher's. All right, so I'm gonna add a few more here on the crown. I'm gonna add one over here. All right, so this is the end result. How absolutely gorgeous this turned out, you guys. With the cute little gingham carrots, all of these beautiful flowers that are just so perfect for spring. I really hope that you liked it. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Comment in the comment section below which flower is your favorite. I gotta tell you, this one right here is my favorite. It is so beautiful, and the carrots really do stick out and stand out, and I just absolutely love it. But I really want to know, what do you think? If you've been following this channel, you know that creating a gorgeous centerpiece is kind of my specialty. I love creating centerpieces because I got my career started in a floral shop. So now, you guys, I'm going to share with you how to create a tall arrangement that will match the beautiful basket that we just did at the beginning. Let's take a look. I really want you to learn everything that I know and that I've learned in the past 15 years in the floral industry. We're going to be doing silks and fresh, and I cannot wait for you to learn everything that I know. So first of all, I want to talk about this beautiful container. I'm going to make a video about selecting your containers, where you can find beautiful containers like this one and how to prep them. For this particular one, I inserted a piece of florist foam, and then I just covered the container with some of this green moss because I don't want to see the stems. When it is a fresh floral arrangement that we do want to see the stems, right now I'm not. So that's the beginning. You put your foam and then you cover it with some sort of moss. Then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna bring in my greeneries. And if you've been following this channel, you know that what happens on the right happens on the left. And that's why I always like to spin my arrangement on this Lazy Susan, which is another mask that you have to have if you are doing florals. Now the benefits of doing florals, you guys, is because it really adds a touch of kind of elegance to your home. I love having floral arrangements all throughout the house. It comes from my mother and my grandmother, who since I was a kid just love flowers, and I just grew up loving them. And then I became a florist. I really wanted to be a florist at a flower shop, and I had that opportunity many years ago, and so I just continued to learn, and now I get to teach you. All right, so now I have my greenery right here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some hydrangea to be like the support of the longer forms. This is a round form, this is a long form. So what I'm going to do is, I always like to tell you to create a triangle, and to do that I'm gonna do one on my right, one on my left, and then I'm going to spin, and you need to make sure that it goes on the foam so that way it is supported. And I'm going to flip it upside down so you guys can see what the triangle that I'm talking about. Do you see how that forms a triangle right on the bottom of my arrangement? And the greenery is just the support for all of your flowers, so you want to make sure that you always have some sort of greenery. So now what I'm going to is I'm going to bring all of this beautiful silk delphinium, and what I like to do is I like to start right on the top, and I pre-cut them just to save us some time because there's going to be so many arrangements. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start right here on the top, and that's going to give us the height of the arrangement, and from there on that's going to be like, this is what we call the crown. So the very first one you insert on the crown, making sure that it goes in the foam, and then the rest of them, when you insert, you're going to go ahead and insert at an angle. As you guys can see, this one kind of separates itself from it. You don't want to put it like this again, because then that's not how flowers grow. When flowers grow in your garden, they usually tend to grow like this, and in order to radiate your bouquet, you have to spin it around and continue to go around, just creating that angle to your left or to your right, depends on what angle you chose. But in my case, I chose my angle to my right. And as you can see, I'm going to insert all of these flowers. This is what I call a monochromatic arrangement. And you guys, this year I'm so into the monochromatic look. Since I went to market, I just fell in love with all of the ideas that they showed. And I have done a few wreaths that are now available on my Etsy shop, where they were all monochromatic with the cute little bunnies, and those, you know, those viral bunnies are going viral right now. So what you do is you continue to add some of this delphinium, all of it in an angle, until you get all the way to the rim of the container, always spinning to the same side. Also, that kind of helps when you're spinning to the same side. And like I said, having this Lazy Susan really will help to just continue to spin around. As you can see, the motion is super easy. You just insert one at a time. Now here's the trick: when we start seeing the gaps right here, just go ahead and insert one. That's what's going to give us that full look. But always, always, always spinning your arrangement. Now I'm getting closer to the rim of the mouth, or the container, which is this right here. And the closer you get to the rim of the mouth, the lower the flower needs to go. So I'm going to add that one right there. See, this one is a short one, so I'm going to put it right here closer to the rim of the mouth. You want to save all of your shorty ones so that way they can go. You might want to also skip the hydrangea, so that way they don't get buried in the floral arrangement. And I'm going to add these taller ones up on the top so they continue to give us that linear aesthetic that we're going for. What do you guys think? Are you having fun this spring season, you guys? Can you believe it's almost spring? Actually, as a matter of fact, you guys, today, when this video comes out, is when we spring forward. I know spring is not till the 21st or 22nd, but today we get to spring forward. So if you haven't changed your clock, be sure to spring forward on your clock, so that way you know that my videos come out every Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time here on the channel. Look how easy this arrangement is, you guys. All you have to do is make sure that you go down on the container, and this could also be done with fresh delphinium. It will be really expensive because the delphinium is really not affordable, but it's such a beautiful flower and it can last a long time, so it would be. But a beautiful alternative is this beautiful silk one, and this silk delphinium came from Walmart, believe it or not. They come on a bundle. I did separate them, and look how pretty. it looks. It is just absolutely gorgeous. And as you can see, I continue to spin. I'm going to add these last few ones and I'm gonna put it in my living room so you guys can see what a touch of elegance. Keep watching. And here it is, our cute little floral arrangement. All looking beautiful here in the living room. I just absolutely love the combination of the blue and white in the sofa, and then also right here on the floral arrangement. I love creating monochromatic looks like this, you guys. It's so easy. Trust me when I tell you, if I can do it, so can you. All you have to do is give it a try, give it a go, give it a swirl, and be creative if you just follow these simple steps. Now, how cute is that centerpiece? Super simple to make and a true statement. All right, you guys, so before we continue with our next DIY, which I know you're going to love, I wanna take a second to thank you so much for being here today. I really enjoyed this new season and I'm having a lot of fun creating DIYs to help you create beautiful environments in all of your homes. So I really hope that you like this video and share it with your friends on all of your platforms so they too can come and join us this spring season. Well, now I'm going to share with you a gorgeous bunny wreath DIY that is made with one of those flocked bunnies that went viral this year. Let's take a look. All right, so once we are done adding our deco material, be sure to pull this out like this, so that way you fluff it out every single loop, every single one of them, so that way it covers so much more of your wreath form. We want it to be pretty full. And so now the next step is going to be to add our bunny. So in order to do that, what I went ahead is I drove a wire through right here, and then I added a dot of glue on each side, so just so it remains. And I did the same on the bottom one. So I have 2 wires right here and 2 wires right here right at the temple. And so that's how we're going to attach our cute little bunny. So I'm gonna go ahead and sit him down. I'm gonna call it a ham because the pink one, it's a her. The blue one, it's a him. Actually, no, it's a her because the pink one is a her and these 2 are him. So whenever you guys see those projects, we'll call them him. And so what I'm going to is I'm gonna grab this wire and I'm gonna grab one of my bristles right here and I'm going to twist this wire into the bristle like this very tightly. Once you're done spinning that wire, you just go ahead and fold it to secure it. And I'm going to do the exact same thing over here. And you wanna make sure that you pull as back as possible to attach this bunny. And once you have it attached, all you have to do is swirl, 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 and then go back out. And we're going to do the same with the ones on the bottom. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab a bristle right here and I'm gonna just swirl it around, but very tightly to make sure that my bunny is not going anywhere like this. And then I just fold it to kind of hide that. And I'm gonna grab this guy right here and I'm going to do the same thing. All right, you guys, so now that we have our bunny attached to our wreath, as you guys can see, it's not coming off. How cute is a tiny little bow? What I'm going to do is I'm gonna bring out all the flowers and we're gonna get in the ribbons, you guys. The ribbons are gonna be first, so we're gonna get the ribbons ready and I'll be right back to give you the next step. Keep watching. All right, so we are back and our bunny is all put together, our wreath is all flat, so now we're going to add our ribbons, you guys. This is my favorite part. And I selected this beautiful selection of ribbons, like this lattice work one. It is so pretty. I also selected this chevron pattern. What I'm going to do is trying to make them a little bit more younger looking, a little bit funner. Look how beautiful this is with a purple back. And then I chose this glitter. This is one of my favorite ribbons. Right now, it's an inch ribbon. To me, an inch and a half ribbon. It is absolutely stunning. It has enough glitter to glisten in the sun. And then, of course, I chose, you guys know that I am obsessed with a 0.75 inch ribbon. So these are going to be our ribbon selection. Let me get out of the picture right now because I like to use my ribbon holder so that way I can pull without having to, well, unravel my ribbon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some tails right here I'm gonna dovetail it. I'm gonna give it about a 6-inch tail. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start right here on the top and just grabbing some of those bristles. What I'm going to do is I'm gonna tie my ribbon, and I'm going to do about a 6-inch loop. I want it to be really tight, so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab this, twist like this, and I want to bring this forward a little bit because I want to be able to see it, not so much on the side but forward, so that way you guys can see that pattern. So there's loop number 2. I'm gonna do a 3rd loop right here like this, and like I said, I want the loop to be forward so that way you guys can see it when it's hanging on the door like this. And so now I'm gonna cut a little dovetail right here. Okay, so now I'm gonna move on to our next one, which is going to be the 1-inch glitter, and I'm gonna go ahead and put it on my ribbon holder. And this one, because it's an inch, I'm just gonna cut at a slant. And what I'm going to do, and look how perfect this is for this right here. I'm gonna do another 6-inch loop, and I'm gonna do exactly the same spot. I'm gonna grab the same bristles, and I'm gonna twist right here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna bring this ribbon right here, and I'm gonna start doing some loops. And remember to go all the way in like this. And as you go in, just make sure that you keep those ribbons fluffed. I'm gonna go ahead and do another one right here like this. So that's 2. Making sure that I have that glitter side. I'm gonna go ahead and do 3 right here. And I'm going to cut right here at a slant. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the bows on this side. I'm gonna finish this side, and then I'll finish the other side off camera so you guys can kind of not have to be so repetitive. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab this, cut out a slant. I'm gonna give it about a 5-inch loop, tail, and then I'm going to do about 5-inch loops. I'm gonna do 2 bows like this. Then I'm gonna cut right here at a slant. And right here at the joint, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna look for other bristles, and I'm going to go ahead and attach this bow right here. And so I want it to be loopy and bowy like this. And so I'm gonna repeat it one more time. Let's see, I'm gonna do about a 6-inch loop, 6-inch tails, only a 2-loop bow. It is the easiest way to do it, you guys. Then we're gonna cut right here, and I'm going to attach this guy right here. And do you see all the texture with all the color? Isn't this just absolutely gorgeous? That's what I'm telling you. The monochromatic designs that I saw on market, what it is like just a repetition of colors and hues of the same family of color. And look at that, how absolutely beautiful that is. It's just creating so much pattern and texture with the patterns, and then all of these beautiful depth with the glitter of the deco mesh and the glitter of the ribbon right here on the outside. It is so pretty. Right, so I'm gonna do one more right here. What I'm going to do is cut a 6-inch tail and about a 6-inch loop. Actually, you know what? It would be about a 12-inch loop, because I learned the other day that this is what you measure. So right here, it's about 12 inches. So by the time you fold down, it'll be about a 6-inch bow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut right here, and I'm going to look for a place right on this side to attach this bow with some of my bristles. I'm gonna make sure that it's really tight and attached like this, because remember, these are going to be on my Etsy shop. And if you guys want to learn how to sell on Etsy, if you are a wreath maker, a centerpiece maker, and if you want to learn how to sell on Etsy, be sure to drop a comment down below with the hashtag Etsy, so that way I know and I can teach you all of the tricks of the trade so that you can too sell on Etsy all of your creations. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing with this 0.75. I'm going to cut at an angle, and look how cute this is, you guys. It is a 0.75, so basically this just fold in half. This I want to do bigger bows so they really show, and I love the back of it because it's a lame. Look how cute this is. And I'm going to cut right here. Longer tail so that it really shows. Look at that, just simple bows. And I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to look for that exact same spot, and I'm going to grab those bristles and twist, and look at that. So now we have the chevron, we have the lattice, and we have this cute little just accent. Let's do one more. All right, so let's see. First of all, let me just cut at an angle, and I'm gonna pinch right here. I'm gonna go down. This is going to be about probably 8-inch loops, so they're a little bigger. And just 2 simple bows. I'm gonna go right about here. Let me see. Grabbing 2 of these bristles, and I'm going to attach real quick, making sure that those tails really show. It is going to be really taily, and that's what I love about this. It's just so much texture. Let me do one more. So once again, about a 6-inch tail, about a 6 to 8-inch loop or bow. Loop. Remember, somebody corrected me because I said bows and somebody said it was loops. So that's how I learned. All right, so now I have this, and what I'm going to do is I'm gonna bring it right here with this guy. But in order to do this, I have to make sure that I found some bristles that I can use. So I'm gonna go right in here, grab these bristles, and ta-da! All right, so here we go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish the other side in a fast speed motion, and I'll be right back to give you the next step. Keep watching. All right, you guys, so I am back, and we are looking really good with all of our ribbons, all of our tails. It does look absolutely gorgeous. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add some of this greenery that has some purple tips to it. I just thought it was absolutely beautiful. It's a eucalyptus that I found at Shinoda Design Center, and it is perfect for this project because keeping it on the monochromatic, we are glad that it has some purple tint to it. Now, if you don't have purple tint greenery, and if you do want purple tint greenery, there is some spray that you can spray just lightly to the greenery, and it's going to be perfect. Also, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna fold in half my pick, and then I'm going to put a steel pick on it. And what this does, I don't know if you guys can see, puts a steel pick. Now I'm gonna get my hot glue gun closer to me as well. What it does is it put a steel pick, and then the glue will hang on to it way better. And this glue is hot, so I have to be careful not to burn my hands, and then also to do a clean drop. Remember, I taught you during the Christmas season that to do a clean drop, what we need to do is put our glue onto our pick like this, and then what we do is like let it go down, and wherever we're going to put our pick, we need to open all of our ribbons, so that way we don't get some of that glue on our ribbons and all of our things. So I'm going to go ahead and do another one. Once again, I'm going to finish one side so it's faster, and then I'll go ahead and do the other one. So I'm going to open right here all of my ribbons, and I'm going to introduce one of my greeners and see how that's giving me a lot of texture. Now the secret here is to go in and out. So now this one went out, so for this particular one I'm going to go in. So I'm going to fold the tip. I'm going to put my steel pick, add a little bit of glue, and be generous. Remember, if this is for sale, you guys, be generous with your glue so that way your customers are happy and this is not going to come crashing down on their door. Once again, what you need to do is fold this in half. If you do not have a pick machine, go ahead and call Shinoda Design Center. I think that they carry them. I got mine a few years ago, so I think they still carry them. So be sure to give them a call. If you are a wreath maker, or if you are like a crafter like I am, it is so important to have all of your tools at the ready, you guys. And actually, I'm going to do a video of the basic tools that you need in order to be an Etsy shop wreath maker. I want to focus on helping you guys to really take off your business because some of us do craft and we are left with all of our things. Well, the best thing you can do is sell them, you know? Just put them on your Etsy shop. I'm going to stop right here with the greenery. Like I said, I'm going to finish the other side because I will have to turn it my way and I don't want to be doing that on the video. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some of these bundles of flowers. And as you guys can see, it comes with these lavender peonies. They are absolutely beautiful. It has these beautiful thistles and some other greeneries right here. This one has 2 flowers. I'm going to go ahead and put it right here on the top. I'm going to cut a little bit of it, and then I'm going to grab a steel pick and put it on because it has these really sharp teeth on them. It really helps it to hang on to my form. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be generous with my glue and let it just go down like this. And remember to do a clean drop. What we need to do is move all of our items and then drop our stem right here. Look at that. How cute is this, you guys? All right, so I'm gonna do 2 right here on the top. I'm going to grab another one and cut right here. Put a steel pick. And this particular one, I want it to be right here in the corner. So in order to do that, I'm gonna give it a little bit of a curvature. Add some of this right here. These are basically our focal points. I'm gonna go ahead and grab all of this. Just do a clean drop right here and having our flower. And look how these 2 make a focal point. This one as well. And I have a third one, but you know what? I'm not gonna use it. I'm gonna save it for another project. Now I do have some of these beautiful roses as well. They come in lavender and in purple, and these 2 are perfect. So what I'm going to do, so I'm gonna grab, actually I'm gonna do one at a time. I'm gonna fold the top. Remember to always do that. I'm gonna put the steel pick, and then I'm gonna put some glue. And what I'm gonna start doing is dropping these flowers right here on the top. I'm gonna start right here, and I'm gonna go all around the perimeter. And remember, I'm gonna only do one side, so that way the video is not 40 minutes. I'm trying to shorten my videos, you guys, but when I have some information to give, then I feel like it should be as long as it needs to be in order to get all this information out to you guys, so that you too can create beautiful wreaths, especially for the holiday season. And I cannot wait. I don't want to talk about it too much because we just got over the holiday season, but you guys, this year you will be dazzled, I promise you. All right, so I'm gonna open right here to do a clean drop. I'm going to manage to stick my flower right here. All right, so far so good. I'm gonna save this for the other side, and I'm gonna save these ones for the other side. And so now I'm going to add some daisies that I had left over from another project. And I'm gonna grab the daisies. They are a little bit more purple, like this one right here, to kind of start creating some depth with the color. Remember, a monochromatic has to be various shades and hues of the same color. So in this case, we're doing purple, we're doing lavender, we're doing all of those beautiful colors. I'm gonna bring this one up here, making sure that I have a clean drop like that. I'm gonna grab this one. It is so pretty. It really is turning out so gorgeous. All right, so now I'm going to continue adding some of these flowers. It is very self-explanatory. Just put your pick, add glue, do a clean drop, and then repeat. So I'm gonna continue doing this, you guys, and I'll be right back. All right, you guys, so I wanna give you a quick close-up of this beautiful wreath DIY. This is the style you guys saw me do, and as you guys can see, it is absolutely gorgeous. The bunny looks so pretty, surrounded with all of these purple and lavender ribbons and flowers. The greenery, as you can see, has a tint of purple on the tips. There is some lilac, lavender, peonies, roses, and of course the variety of ribbons that is just absolutely gorgeous. Remember, there's going to be a selection of these wreaths on my Etsy shop, and the link is going to be down below so you can come in, browse around. But I just wanted to share with you how absolutely gorgeous and stunning this turned out to be here on the front door. I hope you enjoyed it. Well, if you like this bunny wreath, but you don't want to make it, remember they're also available on my Etsy shop. The link is going to be in the description box below, so you can come and shop around, see if there's something that you want to grab. All right, you guys, so for our last DIY, we're going to create a beautiful box, a floral centerpiece, and a tablescape that I know you're going to love. Let's take a look. Okay, so to create this fabulous centerpiece, I'm gonna get started by greening my container. And in order to do that, I brought out my pick machine because I want to make sure that it's permanent. So this guy right here, if you are a florist or a crafter, if you like to make wreaths sometimes for sale or just to keep at your house, then I really recommend you get one. What it does is, let me show you. You grab one of these greeneries, you go like this, and it gives you a pick. Oh my goodness. See, sometimes when it's so thin like this, you have to kind of give it a bend. So that pick really lashes on like that. There you go. So it'll give you a pick like this. And for some of my greeneries, I need that. Some of them I don't. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start greening my container, and I just wanna start by thanking you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate all of your support and all of your encouragement for this channel. I am having so much fun creating these fabulous DIYs in order to inspire you, and I just love to read your comments and all of your encouragement. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I cannot wait to share more ideas, but for this particular centerpiece, I wanted to do something to be more on the fresh side. Like I want it to be colorful, so it has some pop on my table and it's going to go well with my dishes. And so in order to do that, I have to select some bright florals, right? And I just went through my stash and I found some florals that I've had for so many years, you guys. This whole series is about using things you may already have laying around the house, or that you may have some of it, and that way you don't have to go out to the store and buy so much of it. I do have to mention that I did went out to Hobby Lobby and bought this foam. Hobby Lobby has some of my favorite florals and some of my favorite greeneries because they're affordable, and I just like to take really good care of them when I am using them, so that way I can well, continue to use them, right? All right, so what I'm doing is, remember the rules. What happens on the left happens on the right, and what goes up must come down. And if you remember that, you always have a beautifully assembled floral arrangement, wreath, Christmas tree. And by the way, you guys, I have been talking to Shinoda and we're coming up with the ideas for the Christmas season this year. Leave me a comment down below and let me know if you want to see some of the ideas right now, so that way you can get going yourself. Or if it is too early, just let me know that it's too early and I will wait till probably around, I don't know, July, August. All right, so I inserted all my palm, and what I'm going to do is now I'm gonna grab some of these beautiful Monstera and I'm going to do the exact same thing. And you know, I always tell you, if you're a florist or if you just like to make this for yourself, 2 or 3 types of greeneries is the best you can do for any floral arrangement, because it looks more natural. When I worked as a florist, what we did is go to the flower market, and we always selected at least 3 florals and then 3 greeneries, so that way it looked natural. And we always like to include one type of greenery that was local to where we were at in the Midwest. So it was goldenrod or solidago, and I just love it because it really does make your arrangements look more natural. All right, so I'm trying not to go too much on the top right here because I want my florist to show. So I'm gonna put this one right here in the middle, and then I'm going to add these greeneries right here. I've already put a pick on that one. And so for this particular boxwood, I'm just gonna go ahead and add like this. Remember, what happens on the left happens on the right. What goes up must come down, and sometimes it is better if you do have a Lazy Susan, so that way you can go ahead like this, and then you can see everything that you've done and it'll give you balance. So I'm gonna add that right there, and I'm gonna bring this guy right here, and I'm gonna add the last Monstera over on this side, but I do have to put a pick on it. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna bring my flowers, and I'm gonna start with the bigger flowers. So I'm gonna start with these guys right here. And I just love the variety. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna try and select like flowers, like these 3 are the same, these 3 are the same, and then these 3 over here are the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna start with a set of the same. So I'm gonna start with these guys right here. And in order for them to insert into the foam, we have to cut them and put a pick on it because this is really thick. So I'm gonna really struggle to insert into the foam if I don't put this pick. But if you just put this pick right here, you'll see what I'm talking about. Oh, I love that sound. I just love the sound. All right, so I'm gonna do one right there, and then of course, immediately, I'm gonna go over to the other side. Thumbs up if you guys are enjoying this series of Decorate With Me home decorating ideas and more, because I'm having so much fun doing all of this. All right, so remember, we also work in sets of 2s, 3s, and 1s. So because we have 3 of this flower, I'm gonna explain something to you. The thing that you would do is like go ahead and put it in the middle, right? But then it looks polka dotted. So what we need to do is we need to do a set of 2. So because we only have 3, so we have a set of 2 and a 1, which gives us a set of 3, right? That's why you always wanna work and add numbers. That way you can continue to do that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna bring this other pink fuchsia flowers. So I have 3 as well. So I'm gonna put those out, and keep in mind that I'm putting out the ones that I wanna work with because it's just easier that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna pick this flower. And so now because I have 2 right here, I'm gonna add 1, and that will give us a set of 3, you see? There's 2 of the same, 1 alike, and then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna try and do a set of maybe 3 over here. Now this one does come with a foliage. You can leave the foliage if you like, but I like to sometimes do it, sometimes I don't. All right, so I'm gonna do 2, and then what I'm going to do, because this one's facing the north, what I need to do is I'm gonna use this guy right here. So now I'm gonna put one right here to give us a set of 3, 2, and 1. And that is how we balance our floral arrangements. It's super easy, you guys. I'm always telling you, if I can do it, so can you. Did you know, by the way, that I am a self-taught floral arranger, floral designer, and I just love it. I love what I do, and it really gives me life to continue to share with you all of these ideas. All right, so now I have 3 of these coral ones, so I'm gonna put those out. I'm gonna cut this one short. This one doesn't need a pick because it's, well, you know what I'm gonna do, it just since I've been doing it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna come right here in the middle. I'm gonna put one right there. This is giving us the height that we want, because I want my centerpiece to be low and long and low, what we call in the industry, instead of too wild. All right, so now I'm gonna put one right here in the corner. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna let that one just fly. I'm gonna give it a curvature like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna do the same over on this side, but I need to put a pick on it. Like I was saying, this is a pick machine. If you are new to the channel and if you want to do floral design or wreaths or anything that you're going to sell, I really do recommend to look for one on Instagram. Listen to me on. By the way, follow me on Instagram if you don't already. On Amazon, so that way you can do all of this floral arranging. All right, so following the rule of what happens on the left happens on the right, you immediately do this. That's why I also recommend the Lazy Susan. Mine came from at home. I finally found one that I loved, and I love it because it was white and it just blends in with my table. But I also have a wooden one, a wood color one. All right, so far so good. So now I have 3 of these really beautiful salmon, almost orange, and I am obsessed with, so I'm going to do these ones next. And so I'm gonna cut right here. Remember to always cut and immediately put your pick, because it will allow you to balance your flowers. So I'm gonna do 1 right here, and I'll show you. Now these ones I do want, because it's getting tight, I want them scattered so that way they are all throughout the centerpiece. That's also the other thing, is like if you have only a certain amount, you have to make sure that they are all through the centerpiece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a triangle. So I put one coming this way. So now I need to put one going that way. And then I need to come over to this side. Right here, I'm gonna put a pick. And I'm gonna put it facing this way. And see, now you have the same color all throughout in a triangle motion on your centerpiece. So now what I'm going to do, I have some of these really pretty coral flowers, and I'm gonna pick the roses first. I have already pre-cut them to kind of save us some time. So I'm gonna pick all of these right here, and I'm gonna put them down so you guys can see kind of what I'm doing. For these ones, I'm just gonna go ahead and insert, since they're so thin. I'm gonna put one right here, and I'm going to do a set of 2 right here. Then immediately I'm going to swap, and I'm gonna put one up here, and then I'm going to do another one right here. And so I have 2 left, and what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go in the corners, one right here, and immediately over to the other side, opposite to the one I just did. So I'm gonna put that right there. Look how pretty that is. Isn't that turning out so good? All right, so now I have some of these other ranuncula, and what I like about these ones is that they are a little bit more lighter than the other one, and also what I like is they come in sets of 2s already, and so it makes it easy for me. So I'm gonna insert one right here on the top. Look how beautiful this is turning out. I'm gonna cut this one a little bit. Actually, I'm just gonna cut the foliage right here, and I'm gonna insert another one right here. And so see how I'm giving them a little bit of a step up, so that way you have that kind of depth playing. And this one I'm gonna cut a little short. I'm gonna put over on this side, kind of falling forward to me, and then I will spin it around Let me find my foam. Make sure that you go into the foam. You always want to make sure that you go into the foam. So this is what it's looking like. And so now I'm going to do the same. Since this one has two, just make sure you cut every single excess that you have. And then I'm going to do the same facing this way. This is looking so beautiful, and I just absolutely love it. You know what? I have this last one, and it's super long. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this guy right here. Why not? And make sure that the smaller the flower, the higher it has to go, because it's not as heavy. When the flowers grow in our gardens, the heavy ones, they kind of go down, or they don't grow as tall as the little ones, because they have more strength when they are smaller. So what we're gonna do is that. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna bring some of this beautiful lilac. Now this is my favorite lilac, you guys, and you can find it at home. They have a selection right now. And for this particular one, I'm gonna start right here in the center. And so this is kind of like what I call my flyaway. So what I do is like I go one on the top, and then I go down, and I'm letting that be the one that really sticks out. So I don't want to push it as far down. So remember to do a triangle, right? And I'm always working on that shape of the triangle. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin around, and I'm going to repeat the same. Look how tall and long one this one is. So I'm going to put this guy right here. I don't want it to go as far down, because I want it to really, that flower, that head of the flower, all of it, I want it to stick out from my arrangement. So I'm going to go right here. And always working on that triangle motion. So I'm gonna end up capping one over on this side. Then I'm gonna move over to the other side. I'm gonna cap this side right here. And so now I'm gonna spin it around and see what I need. So I need one right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put one over on this side facing this way, like this. And then immediately I'm going to go ahead and sweep around, and I'm gonna do the exact same thing. So I'm gonna put one right here, like this. And I have one left, so I'm gonna bring it over to this side. And look how absolutely stunning this is looking. But I do have one last flower that I want to add, and it's this lavender. I love lavender because it is so fresh looking. I love the smell of it. And I just love the look because it gives us that wild feel to it. This is from Walmart. You can still find this at Walmart nowadays. I just saw it the other day. So I have 5. You know what? I'm gonna do both of them, but I forgot to remove this tag. Thumbs up if you guys are enjoying this video. I cannot wait to come up with even more ideas to share with you for future DIYs and home decorating and tips for you to have a gorgeous home this year. All right, so with this particular one, it's very airy. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna open right here. Look at this. Isn't that just absolutely stunning? So this is basically our filler. This would be treated as another greenery, but you sometimes have to go in there and dig in. So just use it sparingly and make sure that you have it all throughout your centerpiece, right? So I'm gonna use, I always like to end cap first, which means to go ahead and put them at the end. So that way if you run out, your centerpiece looks very cohesive. So I like to end cap like this. And this bush or bundle has a whole bunch of flowers. I think there's like 6 stems, which is really allowing us to fill this centerpiece in. Look how beautiful this looks, you guys. I cannot wait for you to see the whole table set with the beautiful dishes and glassware and stemware. All right, so now I'm just gonna poke in right here. I have a last one, so I need to step away from it. Make sure that I fluff some of my flowers that I kind of damaged. I'm gonna sweep around and see where can I put my last one. And I think it's gonna have to go right about here. Look how absolutely beautiful this is. I'm gonna take this guy on my dining room and show you what it looks like with the table all set up. I hope you enjoyed it. Okay, so I thought I'd share with you my tablescape and how I put it together. First of all, here is the floral arrangement you guys learn how to make. It is super simple. as you guys can see. And for our place setting, I'm gonna share that I'm using my favorite wicker charger. You guys have seen me use this many times before. It gives it more of a spring and summer feel and a little bit more informal. Then for my main dish, I'm using this white bone china with a gold rim. And for the star of the show, our thrift find, you guys. Can you believe somebody pitched these beautiful magnolia patterns? So beautiful. For my flatware, I'm using my gold flatware to go with the gold rim. And then for the stemware, I'm using this beautiful lavender stemware that I found at an antique store, as well as this pink goblet for water. And so this is the way this tablescape looks like. As you guys can see, it is super easy to put a table together, something elegant, something beautiful. So what do you guys think? I'm so excited to finally be back making beautiful DIYs for spring this year. I want to take a second to thank you guys so much for all of your comments, all of your words of encouragement from the last video. You guys know that we've been dealing with the mourning of my grandmother's this year, and I just want to say thank you and encourage you that if you are going through a difficult time, I really want to encourage you to seek the Lord, to find yourself in the Word, because His will for our lives is that we live a beautiful, abundant, peaceful life, and only Jesus can give us that. So I really want to encourage you, whether it's the loss of a loved one, if you're having problems with your children, your friends, your spouses, be sure to lean on the Lord. And I want to share this Bible verse with you, which is, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding. In all of your ways, acknowledge Him and He will direct your path. This I know for sure, you guys. This Bible verse, it is so true. I am living proof that when you lean on the Lord and you do not lean on your own understanding, when you fully trust Him, He will direct your path. And I just want to encourage you to do that. If you're going through any difficult times, give it to Him, because He wants to take the load from you. Trust me when I tell you this. This Bible verse has helped me tremendously in this mourning process from my grandmother's passing. All right, you guys, so I really hope that this was encouraging to you. I really hope it was. Be sure to give the video a thumbs up and share with your friends, and don't forget to come back for our next DIY video coming soon. So be sure to turn the notification on. Thank you guys so much for watching. Consider subscribing, and as always, you can watch more videos right now. Until next time, bye.